So you get a message from a client. They're frustrated. They feel like things aren't working. They're questioning whether they made the right decision investing in your offer. And you pull up their account and everything looks fine. They're getting results. They're on track. They're hitting the benchmarks they should be, but they simply don't feel like they are. If you're the founder of a coaching or service-based business and you've had that conversation more than once, this video is going to show you exactly why it keeps happening. I'm working with a marketing agency right now, and their head of client success just told me last week about a situation that happens at least a dozen times a week. A client will come in and they'll see initial spike in results because that's just how Meta Ads works with new ad accounts. And then the results normalize, not because there's anything wrong with their account or their ads, but because the boost that you get over the first week or two faded and the results begin to normalize. And even though the client is still getting wins, the client is comparing their results back to that first week. So now they feel like they're going backwards, or they feel like they're doing something wrong or something's missing. Now, how this could have been avoided and what I'm helping my client install into their onboarding process is, very simply put, making a point to tell the client what normal looks like at each stage in the client journey. Because without that, clients will always be measuring their progress up against the wrong expectations, which will always blow up in the founder's face. So where most client churn usually starts is the gap between the experience the client gets and their interpretation of that experience. A client could have the most amazing experience inside your offer, get the best results that you've ever had working with a client. But if they come in expecting the results to be greater than that, they will never be satisfied. They'll think they're doing something wrong. They'll think you're doing something wrong. And no matter what, they will blame you. So here are the two assets that I'm helping my client to build that you can build as well that will close the expectation gap before it becomes a refund request. The first is what I call an emotional roadmap. Every single program, every single offer has a predictable emotional arc. There are moments that feel exciting. There are moments that feel hard. There are moments that feel confusing. There are moments where doubt creeps in. There's moments where everything just clicks. And most founders know this intimately because they've watched hundreds of clients go through it, but they've never written it down and given it to a client before they needed it. And when a client has that in hand, they'll hit a bump in the road. And when it feels hard, they won't send the, I don't think this is working for me message. They'll go back to the roadmap. They'll see that this was predicted. They'll see that this was going to happen. And then they keep going. Now, the second asset you need to build is what I call a benchmark check-in at about 30 to 50% of the way through your offer. Let me explain. The emotional roadmap will prevent a fire before it starts, but the benchmark conversation catches the fire in case it starts anyways. Again, somewhere between about 30 to 50% of the way through your offer, every client should have a structured conversation where someone on your team pulls up their results, walk them through what they've achieved so far, and explicitly connects what they are currently experiencing to what normal progress looks like. And this conversation is going to do three very important things. It gives the clients the perspective to see exactly how far they've come. It normalizes whatever they're feeling at the moment so that it doesn't compound into doubt. And it resets the benchmark from whatever inflated expectation they may or may not have had to what the program is actually designed to deliver. So if you want help figuring out exactly where your client experience is creating expectation gaps and what to do about it, then comment the letters CSD below to get more information on bringing my team into your business to work with half as many clients and make twice as much money.